officer directly behind him, exited his patrol car wearing complete issued police uniform, just like I'm wearing here before you, and gave commands for the driver to get back in the vehicle. The driver did not comply. At that point, there were potentially some other commands. Then the officer discharged his firearm 2 times, striking the individual. The individual has not been positively identified at this point, which we hope to have that for you tomorrow. I will not disclose the subject officer's name at this point. I will tell you he is 42 years of age. He is a 9-year veteran. He's a black male, and this is his first officer-involved shooting. The primary officer then did render himself first aid to the subject who he had just shot. We are in the process of getting statements from 2 other witness officers who were pulling up, and we have to work on exactly what their statements are going to be, but they were at the scene, so we have to see what they saw, what they heard. There were potentially other civilian witnesses in fairly close proximity of the situation, so we're getting information from them. The subject was transported to Shands. I do not have a recent, I know that he was in surgery earlier. I don't have a recent, in the last 30 minutes, update on his condition. The officer is uninjured. Where this goes from here is this. We are looking at a grass field lot there to recover any evidence. We have not recovered a weapon from the subject at this moment. We have recovered the subject officer's firearm, and including, I believe, 2 shell casings. His weapon and the 2 shell casings go to FDLE for their processing independent of us. The state attorney's office representative is here conducting their independent part of this investigation, where we provide the fact base to them, and they are here so they actually walk through and see exactly where the evidence and the statements came from. And the officer will be placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the state attorney's criminal investigation review of this case. So I will take a few questions.
I'm sorry, the specific part that caused him to draw the gun, can you go over that again?
We do not have a statement from the officer, as is normal protocol in any criminal proceeding. You usually do not get that statement at the incident, at the time of incident. This is no different. This is a criminal investigation. The reality is the police officer is your subject of that criminal investigation. He has the same rights as everyone else. I would use the analogy of saying, if we pulled up on a scene and we had a murder suspect in custody or a robbery suspect in custody, we would not be sitting here telling you their statement either. That is just normal protocol for the criminal investigation to play out. Next question?
Yes, was the subject armed or unarmed?
At this point, we do not have the statement from the officer, but we have not recovered a weapon at this moment.
Have you talked to the other officer who was there, I think, behind him in the other car?
There's 2 other witness officers and we're in the process of doing that.
You said that the person was hit twice. Do you know where they were shot?
I know upper body, but you deal with entry wounds, exit wounds, and things of that nature, so we have to work through that. The medical staff will have to get with them to determine that specifically.
And I know you don't have a positive idea on who they are, but do you know the age of the person that was shot?
He's I would say, 30 or 40-year-old black male.
And was he alone in the car, or were there other people?
He was the only occupant that we're aware of in the vehicle.
So is there any word at this time? I know you guys haven't spoken to the officer in question, but the other officers, as far as anyone fearing for their life or anything like that, as far as making him want to fire his gun, or
we're still working through their statements that we haven't finalized, or they haven't given their final statements yet.
So essentially what you're saying is he was shot because he failed to listen to what the officer's command.
That's not what I'm saying. I said what I was aware of. I said that he immediately exited the vehicle. They were given commands to get back in the vehicle. He did not comply. Something after that transpired. The officer discharged his firearm, striking him twice.
Do you think body cams would be helpful in a situation such as this?
I think body cams have a lot of advantages, and this being just one.
The something, just to clarify, the something else happened is what you're actively questioning about.
That is the same piece of evidence in any investigation like this. Any homicide case, any shooting case, aggravated battery case, whatever criminal title you want to give it based on statute. That's the piece that tells the story.
What did you say the FDLE involvement is? I'm just usually
so independent of us, FDLE runs the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, has their forensics lab. They are the ones that would process the shell casings and things of that nature. That physical evidence. Every scene in which we recover physical evidence.
How long do you guys think you'll be out here at night?
We just brought in portable lighting. I don't know if you can tell from your vantage point here. It is very, very dark. Right where the traffic stop occurred, there is a large vacant field. It's probably one or two of the regular lots that look like they've never been built on or been cleared since then, with, I won't say high grass, but not well-maintained grass, and a tree line and things of that nature. So we've got to bring in some portable lighting, which they just brought in. When they illuminate the area, that will assist us in processing.
And for folks who live on the street, are they going to be able to get to their homes?
Yes, we are making effort. When they should approach officers at each end of the perimeter, and we do that to keep the scene as sterile as possible. We will assist them in getting to their homes.
Speeding was the main reason that the suspect was stopped originally.
The information that was told thus far in a limited proffered statement was that the vehicle was speeding and had also squelched or squealed its tires. That was the reason for the initial traffic stop. Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.